Yeah, good evening, Rod. Angel was back in court today. Angel Adams, now Angel Brown, became very famous. And actually, out of all of the stories I've ever done at News Channel 8, she's the one most people talk about. She's the one most people remember, all because of one phrase she uttered when I first met her.
Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
When I first met Angel, she was living in a one-bedroom motel. 12 of her children were sharing just 2 beds, and Angel demanded that someone pay for her to move into a new house. With the help of the Department of Children and Families, Angel moved into a new home. But when someone posted stories about her on YouTube, she became internationally famous as an example of what is wrong with the welfare system in America. Angel doesn't care that people across the country hate her.
That's okay because they don't know me.
Now Angel and her husband are back in trouble and back in court.
Our lights go on, they go off. They go on, they go off.
Angel is facing eviction from her home, and her power has been turned off because they owe nearly $600 in back payments. Angel told the judge she used a check from the Tampa Housing Authority that was to pay for the power bill to pay instead to evacuate her children during Hurricane Irma.
And I used it for my children to evacuate for the Irma hurricane. When they told us to get out, I used that money to evacuate and get my children where they needed to be.
The judge told Angel and her husband the bill is theirs to pay.
You're asking me to make an agency pay money above and beyond what they committed to pay, and I don't have that authority.
And so Angel is facing eviction once again from this home. The landlord has not been paid rent in 3 months, and Angel is wondering where now to turn.
My children are hungry. My children are afraid. My children are cold. My children can't function in school. My children, they're not doing very well at all.
Yeah, the Tampa Housing Authority is working with Angel to try to find her and her husband and her children a new house. But here's an update on Angel. When I first met her 10 years ago, she had 15 children. 12 of them were living with her. Now she has 17 children. 5 of them are living outside of the home. And the question everyone always asks, why does she have so many children if she can't pay for them? And the one thing Angel has always maintained, she says, children are a gift from God. Rod?
All right, Jeff Patterson reported live for us tonight. Jeff, thanks.
He considers himself a ladies' man.
And this so-called Romeo admits fathering 22 children by 14 different women, making him one of the mid-state's most expensive deadbeat dads. News Channel 5's Nick Barris uncovered this exclusive story. Nick, you were there when Orlando Shaw went before a judge today, right?
That's right. You know, the mothers took Shaw to court seeking thousands in child support. Get this, his children range from infant twins to an 18-year-old. Shaw doesn't pay for the children, but in an exclusive interview, he says he wanted them all.
I wanted 50 kids.
Well, you're almost halfway there.
Hey, I don't want no more.
Apparently, 22 is now enough for Orlando Shaw.
Don't want no more kids. I want to be fixed.
That's his choice, and no one at the Davidson County Juvenile Court is going to object. Cases involving Shaw's children can fill an entire docket.
Britton versus Shaw. We have Jenkins and Shaw, Williams and Shaw, and then Fain and Shaw. Jones and Shaw, different Jones and Shaw.
And the list goes on and on of the mothers represented by Child Support Services seeking support for their children.
I have never doubted Mr. Shaw's love for his children.
But Shaw is tens of thousands of dollars behind in support payments.
What we're looking for is to come up with a solution to have parents be financially responsible for their children.
Magistrate Scott Rosenberg knows that would be good for both the children and the taxpayers. When Shaw doesn't pay, the state has to help support his kids. Consider $142 per child in temporary assistance and another $200 or so in food stamps. Multiply that total by 22 kids and the state pays more than $7,000 each month. So how on earth does a man in his early 30s explain fathering nearly 24 children with more than 13 women? The only way to find out is to ask. That's what we did. Listen.
I love my kids, and I can care less what anybody think about it.
Are you able to pay child support?
I can't pay no child support right now. They know I can't pay them no child support right now.
How do you father to that many children with that many women? It's hard to be in more than one place at once, isn't it?
It's called cell phones. It's called pick them up. You got to have it. You got to have it worked out.
What about contraception? Was that just not an option for you?
I was young, ambitious. I was just young and ambitious, and I loved women. Hey, you can't knock no man for loving women.
You like the idea of having that many children out there that you fathered. Is that it?
Yeah, Shaw legacy lives on. My family stays strong. I make sure we'll be here for years and years to come.
That is a very interesting snapshot into what a guy like that thinks. Clearly, he, as you saw, was very open about his situation and seemed to take a great pride in fathering so many children, Vicki.
What can the magistrate do about it, Nick?
Well, I'll tell you, he could throw Shaw in jail again. He's been there several times before. It didn't seem to work. But then he'd also absolutely have no chance of earning an income to help pay for these kids. For now, the best the court can do, well, they're working with Shaw to spend more time with his family.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Davidson County Juvenile Court handles thousands of child support cases, and Shaw's ranks near the very top for number of children not getting child support.
We were talking about this case just the other day, and my Twitter blew up as well. People were really outraged by the fact that he had allegedly 30 children and he hadn't been paying child support. Well, get this. He only has 24 children, and on top of that, he hasn't been paying child support, but that's because he's been incarcerated since 2009. Now, I don't know what charges he was convicted of or why he is being held, but he has been incarcerated since 2009. He won't be released until November 2014. We have found all of this out from the magistrate judge who is handling these custody cases. His name is Magistrate Stan Briggs, and he says that he has had to incarcerate Mr. Hatchett for non-payment of custody in the past, but that is not what's going on right now. He isn't paying any custody because he's not making any money while in jail.
Now, I don't have any experience in this. Let me just ask you, if you are behind bars and you do owe child support, does that mean you don't have to pay because you're in prison?
Well, what we're learning is he's not paying right now because he is in prison, but the judge made it very clear that when he is out in November of 2014, he will be asked to pay that child support. The child support order will be enforced. And again, the judge has had to incarcerate him for non-payment in the past. And so perhaps these women and their children will be getting some sort of money, but they're not going to get it anytime soon.
A Dayton man says he has 27 children with 17 different women. Nathaniel Smith made national headlines last week when he appeared on Fox 45 on the TV show Divorce Court. We wanted to talk to Smith personally, so our Elise Coulter tracked him down along with one of his ex-wives, Elise.
Deborah, instead of coming here to the Montgomery County Courthouse for a divorce, the couple decided to go on the Fox show Divorce Court. Their episode aired on Friday, and it's been turning heads ever since.
How many children do you have?
I got 12 sons and I have 15 daughters. I have 27 altogether.
It's a statement that shocked not only the courtroom or the judge, but the nation.
If you don't know me, I understand I understand your comments and responses.
But for 39-year-old Nathaniel Smith, it's not shocking.
The whole world's now finding out what Dayton, Ohio already knew.
He and his ex-wife Jasmine Smith appeared on the show on Friday.
We couldn't afford the divorce, so he called and they called back. They called me. I thought about it, and then I went.
And since then, their lives have been turned upside down after Nathaniel's confession of having 27 kids with 17 different women on national television.
It seems like a lot, but you were kind of saying...
It is a lot, but I think because we aired ours out, like we put ours on TV, but it's a lot of people that has a lot of kids. But I think we were just the one that aired ours out, so now we're the ones that look stupid.
But as Nathaniel picks up his son from Jasmine's house, I asked if he thought he was a good father.
I do better with the children I have than some men do with 2 or 3 kids that they have. Baby boy. I hear jokes all the time. Every time I see you, you got a different kid with you. Interview one of those people.
And as far as having any regrets,
what's done is done. So I have 27 altogether.
I also asked Nathaniel if he knew what he was getting into by going on national television. He tells me yes, but says the judgment has been a lot tougher than he thought.